As the owner of the Accountants Millionaires Club, I spend most of my day job helping small accountancy firm owners grow their practice. So you would have thought when it came to growing my business, I would find it easy. Well, it was interesting. Over the last 6 months, I've grown from 3 people to 8 people. And I found it particularly difficult. And when I went and looked at the books, when I went back to my IP, when I looked around at the internet, I found very little advice to help through this transition. And I'd gone from that 3 people to 7 or 8 people. And it's a really tough transition. And there are 9 key leadership mindset shifts that you need to make. And this is part of a series of videos on how to make that transition, that mindset leadership shifts. Now, before I go any further, if you find this video useful, please like, please comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I personally read every comment. And then press subscribe to this channel. You'll get notified every time I release a video which will have inspiration, tips and tactics to grow your small accountancy firm. And I'm going to come on to one of the key leadership shifts. And this is the second one. You have to become mentally tougher. So what do I mean by this? Well, the first thing is, when you've only got 2 people, you can kind of bumble along as a people manager. But suddenly when you've got 6, 7, 8, you've got to become a lot better at leadership and management. That means you've got to toughen up. That means you've got to take tough decisions. That could be you've got to exit someone. That's a tough one. It means you've got to have difficult conversations with your people. That can be tough. But another reason you have to be tough is that our brains are actually geared, so we're more motivated to worry about loss than we are to be motivated about gain. And when your business is about 8, 9, 10 people, you'll probably be turning over between 250 and 400k as a small accountancy practice. That means you've got to a certain size. It also means you've got more to lose. So suddenly your decisions, there's so much more that are involved. After all, if you make a wrong decision, that could mean that your people's jobs and livelihoods and happiness is at stake. That's tough. That means mental toughness. But it also means that you've got to be more resilient and more tough as it comes. So, a key member of staff leaves. There's a certain amount of resilience and toughness that's needed to bounce back. We often know that in that period of going from 2, 3 people to about 8 people, you've got to reconfigure what you do, restructure what you do, maybe take a step back to go forward. That takes toughness. But also we know in our own business that very often you've got to hire ahead of when you need somebody in the business. And you may not have the profit margin to justify hiring that point. And hiring somebody knowing you're going to make a loss for a certain number of months is tough. The toughness to put money in a bank account to pay for that person and not go into it means you've got to be mentally tough. There's a reason why people don't grow their practice beyond 2 to 3 people. Why a lot of people just stay there. Because they don't have that mental discipline. They don't have the toughness needed to make the mental shifts, the mindset shifts to grow that bigger firm.